Do not adjust your set. This is still Sports Tonight Live. But we are the Chelsea Football Fancast, and we're on podcast takeover, or I think preferably the lunatics have taken over the asylum. Now, the Chelsea Football Fancast is what we like to call the best Chelsea podcast by Chelsea fans, the home of proper Chelsea, and fuelled by Guinness and powered by celery, as it says on the T-shirt. Now, this motley crew here are the buddies that I do the show with every week, and they are in no particular order. Dr. Mart, a.k.a. Martin Levy.
Evening all.
The celery terrorist, as in Chris Norman.
Evening.
And the legend that is Cheltel. That is his real name.
It certainly is, yeah. It's good to be here.
How are you, fellas? I mean, we were at the Liverpool game last night, and I know for a fact that I'm still feeling pretty miserable and down about it.
Don't remind me.
Awful, wasn't it?
It was awful.
It was.
We're not going to have to talk about it,
You luckily missed out on it, Chris. Tell, I probably suspect you watched it on the telly.
I certainly did, yeah. Unfortunately, I watched it.
It was a bit of a mare, wasn't it? Now, of course, it's made worse by the lovely tabloids with their analysis. Their analysis of the game went something like this. Andre's agony, it says there. They were actually quite lightweight about it, I thought. But this one, they tried to be funny. Not quite as funny as we normally are, but Maxi for AVB. Okay. There you go, you can see that. Yes, I see what they've done there. Now, the great thing is, of course, when Chelsea win, like we did at the weekend against Wolves, they don't have anything to write about us at all. So no vitriol or garbage in the tabloids after the Wolves performance. See, nothing, absolutely nothing. Just the masthead, nothing to write about there.
They don't call them red tops for nothing, do they?
They don't call them red tops for nothing. And here's another one, just to prove that that one wasn't a fake. There you go, Sunsport, nothing there. It's all empty, no garbage about Chelsea. And that's kind of how we like it. Now, before we get into talking about the game from Saturday against Wolves, which we enjoyed, and a little bit about the one from Liverpool,
which we didn't
enjoy, we have some breaking news, because this is in fact the last day of Movember, and Chris has lent his upper lip to the cause for the last 30 days, and this is his last day.
Believe it or not, this is a full month's worth of growth.
It is. Now, I think we found out something, Chris. We've done our research, and I believe you've probably modelled your tash on a famous ex-footballer, isn't that right? Do we have a photograph of Charlie Cook? Possibly?
It's hard to tell the difference.
I went for
Lovely, we do. I think, you know, Charlie Cook,
Here we go.
celery terrorist. Charlie Cook, celery terrorist. Wearing a Crystal Palace shirt, but we'll forgive him for that.
I was going for Charlie Bronson, but...
Were you?
Yeah.
Which one? The actor or the murderer?
I think probably the actor, Martin. We wouldn't associate with him if he was a murderer, would we? But there you go. So I think actually well done to Chris. Have you actually raised a lot of money for the...
Yeah, our team at work has raised £2,000.
Excellent.
£2,000. Well
Yeah,
done.
it's not
Round of
bad.
applause for Chris.
Impressive.
Round of applause
Well
for Chris. Was it worth it, though, all the ridicule you've had to put up from us?
I mean, I think it's all for a good cause. I mean, you have to deal with a month of kids running away screaming and girls doing much the same, but all for a good cause. Happy to do it.
Good stuff. I'm delighted. Well, well done,
Next
Chris.
year, you all can do it.
Yeah, I think I'll try and join in. I'm
Good.
sure we can make a better fist of it than you, if you see what I mean. Right, now on the show every week, we obviously talk about a lot of nonsense about Chelsea and the club that we love. But one of our favourite minutes of our normal show is where we award the match awards for either the last match that we've seen, or in this case, the last two matches that we've seen. We call them the fannies. No, it's not what you're thinking. It's actually derived from the name Fancast, you see, so be careful. Now, what we normally do, as we talk about the last match, as I said, which was Wolves, so I'm going to conveniently forget that we played Liverpool, I think, for most of this segment.
Who?
Good.
Exactly. So we have to do a kind of Wayne's World and transport ourselves back to Saturday and look at the man of the match, which is the first one that we normally award. Now, you know, for the Wolves match, certainly, I thought Ramirez had a stunning game. I thought Ramirez was absolutely at the heart of everything that we did. But Mata, on the other hand, was at the heart of everything that we did good. So have you got any other offers, or are you quite happy with those two?
I think you've picked out the two key men there, Chidge, and I would say, yes, Mata was very, very creative. Everything we did going forward was very much went through his feet at some point or another.
It would do, really.
It would do,
He's
yeah.
a footballer.
That's right, yeah. If he touched it with his hand, that's different, isn't it? Yeah. No, but I think just our man Ramirez for his energy.
Ray Mears.
Ray
we
Mears
like on the show,
yeah, because the Mears family, obviously, you know,
Why
played
do you
for
call him
Chelsea
Ray
all those
Mears?
years ago.
Why? I
Yes.
don't know, Tel. Why do we call him Ray Mears?
Well, no, it's because Wasn't it you sitting next to somebody?
It's me.
Were you?
Me in the
Go
shed.
on, why
Yeah.
do they call him Ray Mears?
Well, it's the bloke in front of me started calling him Ray Mears. I mean,
R-A-M.
I think it was by
I-R-E-S.
mistake. I think he just couldn't read.
Does he have a problem with an
Ray
eye?
Mears.
He just has a problem with all letters.
You know, I know Ray Mears has got ginger hair, but I don't think Ramirez has. So
Well, he hasn't grown it long enough for us to find out.
He's probably good in, you know, when he goes walkabout and stuff. I mean, one thing we do actually like him to is the Duracell bunny, because he has
Yeah.
so much energy. And one of the things I love about Ray Mears is the fact that, you know, he's just so dynamic. And he's, I mean, you know, one of the great things in the last kind of year, I think, for Chelsea is him coming into the team.
You coined that description of him.
The
and
Duracell
Chelsea
bunny.
official website nicked it.
I did, didn't I? I know. We're always
We're going to get
first.
sued now.
Probably. Can we talk about Mata a bit, though? Because as I
Yeah.
said, I think he was at the heart of everything good.
Yeah, I mean, if Ray Mears lays the foundations, Mata puts on the finishing touches. I was going to say puts the icing on the cake. That would be a
Can
terrible
you come
metaphor.
out with any more cliches?
No,
You
no.
sure?
But would you like me to?
Well, you can
I'll
if you
talk about
want.
Mata instead. No, he's a wonderful player. I mean, just those touches he can give us, and he seems to be sort of learning a bit the English way as well. For that Sturridge goal where he's actually muscled past a player, stayed on his feet when he could have gone down. So he's actually learning to adapt his game as well, and he's only going to get better. He's 23.
You know what? Actually, that reminds me, you wouldn't have seen this, but last night in the Liverpool game, he had a clash with Lucas, which actually eventually led to Lucas going off. And at the time when that happened, I mean, Lucas fouled him actually, so there was you know, Mata didn't do anything naughty, as it were. But I actually thought at the time, actually, yeah, he's actually getting stronger. Because it worries me about him. He's such a small, he looks quite delicate, doesn't he?
Well,
So is
Lucas is now out for
Ramirez.
6 months.
So I don't know what he kicked of Matters.
Lucas is out for 6 months, so whatever it was
Now
he
look,
did,
I mean, obviously, you know, Ray Mears and Mata are out in front for man of the match against Wolves. But I have to say, if there was a candidate for last night, and let's face it, there weren't too many. But I have to say, how do you like to call him, Tel? Rion Bertrand?
Rayon Bertrand, yeah.
Rion Bertrand?
That's him, yeah.
Not Plastic Bertrand,
No,
Rion Bertrand.
Yeah, no, he's not
He had a
French,
good
is
game
he?
last night,
It was
mate. He did.
superb. You know, what a great substitute for Ashley Cole when Ashley Cole goes because, you know, Bertrand played a real good game. He was up to the full mark.
It's more than that, isn't it? It's more than being an able substitute for Ashley Cole. He's actually going to push Ashley Cole for his place in time.
And isn't
Well,
exactly
might
that,
be a few years
you know,
down
the
the line.
Carling Cup, that's exactly what we should be doing. That's where you get people
Quite
like
right.
McEachran, give them a chance of playing competitive football against first teams in front of crowds.
It was-
Quiet ones, but still crowds.
It was a real shame that actually Josh got injured last night. I haven't heard if it's too bad or not, but it's just typical. You know, every time he's been played this season, he's been sacrificed because somebody's been sent off, and now after playing a really good 20 minutes,
When he gets
actually.
his chance, yeah, he suddenly gets
Great
injured.
shame. Anyway, look, who are we going to vote for man of the match for this one? I mean, it can be from either Wolves or the Liverpool game. I don't think there'll be many from the Liverpool game, as I said. I mean, I'm going to go for Ray Mears. I thought he was at the heart of everything, really.
I'll agree with that, Chidge, because his energy is incredible. His ball-winning ability is incredible. For a man who's, you know, what is he, 9.5, 10 stone soaking wet, he wins tackles he's got no right to win, and his pace is incredible.
Indeed. Celery terrorist.
You know I like to disagree with you, Chidge,
Always.
but this time I'm not.
My goodness
I was
me.
gonna go
Is this the
Mata.
first? Is it just because we're on TV that you're going to agree with
Oh, well,
me?
exactly. It's
Okay.
uncut. I was going to go Mata, not just because he looks like AVB's son.
He does, doesn't he, actually?
Very much
There's
so.
a
Oh,
weird
that's why
resemblance
he
there.
bought it. Oh,
Yes,
that's- could be
yeah.
it.
No, but Ray Mears is at the centre of everything good we do,
Yeah.
and it's been the way all season.
Yeah, no, he's been really solid and consistent. Cheltel, so far we've got 3-0 so far.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You can't win, that's all I'm saying.
I know. Mata is a sort of to me was the orchestration of Chelsea against Wolves, but Ray Mears was the engine. So and he was superb.
You
So-
like a good engine, don't you, Tel?
Yeah, he was the driving force. So I've got to go for Ray Mears.
Okay, Ray Mears, a clean sweep for Ray Mears.
Unusual.
That is quite surprising. Now, there's another award that we love to do on the show, on the Chelsea Fancast, and that is Chant of the Match. Now, normally we can pretty much sing anything we want, but I think common decency would probably prevent us from singing most of them. However, there are two notable things to say. One is that on Saturday at Wolves, there was an interesting bit of dialogue going on between the fans and the Matty Harding lower. First of all, they started chanting Torres because they clearly wanted him to come on instead of Drogba, who I didn't think did that badly. And then they all started singing for Drogba. They started going, you know, Didier Drogba, la 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 la, Didier Drogba, la 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 la, and so on it goes. And that was the only one of note. But I mean, it's, you know, we should talk about the atmosphere really, because I think generally it's been getting quite poor. And you know, last night I have to say was shocking. You know, I've not seen it quite that bad for a long time. And maybe that was because, you know, there were 6,000 Liverpool fans in the shed end, which doesn't help because they were really making a noise, which meant a lot of our fans were dispersed and displaced.
I've got a bit of an extra theory on that because when was the last time we beat Liverpool? So they did the double overs last season. And so there's extra stress and tension in the Chelsea fans when we play Liverpool because they beat us a couple of weeks ago. And so we're up against them again. And so there's extra tension. You know, you can feel the tension. And so that's what gets to the fans. And it gets transmitted to the players as well.
Well, in fairness, I think the support in the first half was pretty good. I should say that if for cup games, the FA requirement is that the away fans have the whole of one end behind the goal.
Yeah.
So that is quite disruptive because a lot of our singing in a normal league game comes from the shed end. So that's taken away and other people are dispersed around the ground. So you lose a percentage of your sort of driving force behind the singing. So you've only got the Matthew Harding. But I thought for the first half the support was reasonably good. It was only really after they scored 58 minutes.
I'm amazed you say that. I mean, I sit 10, 15 rows behind you, and I thought it was dreadful.
Well, it was almost silent after they scored.
Well, that doesn't help. But I mean, you know, we are becoming a team that, you know, sing when we're winning, and that, you know, which is quite important. Now, I know that AVB actually had a press conference. I think it was right after the game, and I know he was talking absolutely about this, and he pretty much, you know, I think he's had quite a dig at the fans for this. I don't know if we can show the press conference. It'd be quite nice to actually see that and then talk about what he actually says specifically. But he's not a happy bunny at all, and he's also okay. If we just play that now, because that'd be lovely to see that. And we talk about that a bit.
Well, I mean, I think away from home we've been more solid statistically and as a team. That is a fact. But at the moment at home, we just haven't been good enough. I think we need to get our fans behind us when we play at home. We need to get the emotions right. I know, and you can feel Stamford Bridge has become anxious about Chelsea playing at home. But we need their full support behind. It's the only way that you can build the right atmosphere to take you past this period. So we have two big games at home where we'll need our fans completely behind us.
So there you go. There's Andre Villas-Boas, or AVB, as I think we should probably call him for. I don't want to be sued by Sean Connery or anybody cating me for an appalling Scottish accent, but there you go. But I think he has a point. I mean, I think, you know, at the moment at the Bridge, you've got a mixture of people who either are getting on the players' back constantly when things don't go right, or just not singing at all, which, you know, I mean, he's basically saying that the players are getting spooked by the fact that the fans' reaction to them doing things wrong. But, I mean, it must be awful, you know, playing at home when all you can hear are 6,000 Scousers. That would put me off my game for a start. Why can't we sing anymore, Tal? You've been going forever. What's going on?
Well, this is our worst start for a long time. And, you know, how long since Mourinho came in? Since then, it's been success all the time. And we've had great starts to all the seasons, every season since then. And so this is such a poor start. And, of course, the Johnny-come-latelys who weren't there in the bad days don't realise that, you know, you've got to just keep plugging on and get through the bad times, get to the good times. But that's why they clamp up.
Yeah. We're spoiled. We're being spoiled, basically, I think.
Since for the last 10 years, whatever.
But do you agree with AVB, Chris?
Well, kind of. We can dedicate an entire show to the gentrification of football and why football atmosphere is not very good anymore.
You're the one with the gents moustache.
Oh, thank you very much. But I still sing.
You do, I know. We try. We do try, it has to be said.
Yeah.
We do try, but it's blooming hard singing when you're on your own and there's nobody around you singing. That's half the problem, I think.
But while AVB does have a point, he's missing a much bigger point. I mean, it's almost deflecting away from the fact that the tactics for home games are wrong. I
mean, to be honest, big up for him for actually having a go. I think it's quite brave for a manager to stick it to the fans if he doesn't think they're giving him a lot of support, you know, vocally at a match. And I don't know many managers who would do that. Martin, very quickly, because we're going to go to a break in a minute.
In Andre Villas-Boas, there are echoes of his former boss and mentor.
Do you mean the special?
I mean, José Mario Mourinho, who said, I can remember him saying the same thing. The crowd needs to get behind the team.
Indeed. Okay, well, we'll be coming back, in fact, after a very short break, and we'll be talking about more fannies, more awards for our wonderful matches that we've just witnessed. Hello, we're back. This is the Chelsea Football Fancast on Podcast Takeover on Sports Tonight Live. Now, so far we've had a nice little chat about the Wolves and the Liverpool game, but we've done that via the beauty and the magic of what we like to call the fannies, which are our version of the match awards. Now, so far we've awarded the Man of the Match award to Ramirez for his performance against Wolves last Saturday, and we couldn't bring ourselves to award a chance of the match for last night because there weren't many, as pointed out in AVB's presser yesterday. But I think just to tie up a loose end, we quite like the idea of it was kind of proper Chelsea, really, wasn't it? The Torres Drogba chanting, bit naughty to chant for Torres early doors, but kind of pulled it back by chanting for Drogba.
It wasn't. I don't think the chanting for Torres was done in an anti-Drogba kind of way. It was done because they wanted to see Torres come on. It wasn't doing dogs down in any shape or form.
Very level-headed,
as was proven by the fact that they then sang his chant. So.
Well, here's the rub, though. There weren't really many other chants. I mean, there was a one-man went to Mo on Saturday, but I mean, I would give it for the Torres and Drogba. So you're gonna go for the Torres and Drogba
I think both of them together, yeah.
I think, are we fairly unanimous on that?
Yeah, definitely. It answers what AVB said about supporting the players, and that's an example of when we do it right, we do it well.
Yeah, although I think there was a bit of naughtiness going on. But
there's nothing wrong with a bit of naughtiness. That's what Chelsea's about.
I like a bit of naughtiness. Exactly. Tell.
Yeah, I think they were chanting for Torres because Chelsea were 3-0 up, and they wanted Torres to come on. What a golden opportunity for him to score a load of goals.
Yeah.
That's what they thought. That's why they were chanting for Torres, not being anti-Drogba. So I will go for the Torres one.
Fair enough. Now, we have two other awards that we give to the players and even the fans for a match, and one of them is the Guinness moment. The Guinness moment. We love the Guinness on the Chelsea Fancast. Now, for us, a Guinness moment is a moment in the game where a player has exhibited sublime skill, beautiful flair. Basically, how do I best put this?
It's what Test Match Special would call a champagne moment, but we can't afford that.
It is, Dr. Mark. We're too poor for champagne, so it's Guinness. But I think it's a moment where it kind of, I see something on the pitch that just makes me go, whew. That's a pretty bad performance of it, but I think you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, look, on Saturday, I mean, I have to be honest, there'll probably be very few Guinness moments from the Liverpool game last night, although I can think of one. But on Saturday, we had quite a few. We had Ash's brilliant kind of chest pass where he kind of chested the ball. I know he doesn't have the benefit of a.
It's a little bit scary next to you doing it.
It is a bit scary and almost kind of upset the entire
you
sofa.
knocked off the sofa then.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. Anyway, so there was Ash Cole's chest pass. Rameau's pass to Ashley Cole for the Studge goal.
Yeah, second goal, yeah.
Sorry, Romeo.
Romeo.
Wherefore art thou called Romeo?
Read it as it's written, Romeo.
Romeo. We had this out the other day, didn't we? I can't
you had it out the other day. Now
Did we decide to call him Oriole instead?
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, easier.
As in the biscuits?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's another one that I really, really like that I want to put out there, and that was, we've already given Ray Mears the man of the match for the Wolves game, but he was fantastic with this volley that he did. It kind of came, I can't remember who crossed it over, but it was a bit of a naff cross, but he kind of watched it, and it came across his body, and he just absolutely wellied it, and it wasn't far away. I mean, that would have been a hell of a goal. If I was really, really going to go for one, I might well go for that. Now, one honourable mention from last night, which is, it could have been a celery moment, which is coming up, but I'm going to stick it in the Guinness moment category, and that is Ross Turnbull's save.
Brilliant.
A penalty save. Now, we all think that dear old Ross is a bit ropey as a keeper, but that's the second penalty save he's made in the Carling Cup this season.
And he won us the shootout to get through to this
round. And he won us the shootout, exactly. I wouldn't mind sticking that in as well. So have you got any other suggestions?
From last night, one from Romeo. He got the ball about 10 yards from the Liverpool goal area, and he was in the middle of the pitch, and he sort of turned to his left. He looked around, turned to his left and took it wide, and it took a load of Liverpool players with him. And all of a sudden, he's turned around, switched back, and did a lovely ball over to Torres, because he'd obviously seen Torres out there, but he just didn't know that he'd seen Torres, and he just took these Liverpool players with him. Brilliant. and he just flicked it back over to Torres.
I'm liking
that. Was
that.
a great Guinness.
So we've got possibly 2 from last night. That's
Yeah.
more than I hoped for, Tel. What about you, mate?
I want to go for the Turnbull save as well.
Are you?
I mean, he's not very good at anything else, but what
He's a
am
decent shot stopper.
Imagine if you
Don't hold back, Chris. Just say what you mean.
imagine if you will, we actually get out of our Champions League group, get to the Champions
I'm
League
finding it
final.
not hard to imagine that.
2
at all.
minutes to go in extra time.
Yeah.
Do we bring him on for Czech? Our penalty saver extraordinaire.
But Czech saved some
would
good
worry me.
penalties, hasn't he, in the past, but he's not known for it.
He's
So
not.
I would bring Turnbull on.
Yeah, I think Czech dives the wrong way for 80% of penalties. This is quite impressive,
He's not a
really.
good penalty
Don't think
saver, is
Czech's ever won a shootout, has he?
he? No.
No.
And I think maybe
Yes,
we've
he
just
did.
established
In the Community Shield, but not a
Doesn't
competitive
count.
one.
Mark, what are you going to go for a Guinness moment?
I like Ramirez.
You like the volley?
The volley, yeah.
Okay, that's going to be.
I
interesting.
also liked, actually, from the Wolves game.
No, don't change your mind. It'll ruin it all.
All right.
Okay.
No, well, I'm going to change my mind. I like the when he picked up the ball for the first goal and had a fantastic run and shot at goal.
Oh, you did like that,
which
didn't
went
you?
just wide,
Yeah.
and that led to the first goal. From the corner came the first goal.
Okay.
I've got another one.
You know I'm going to cheat anyway, so it doesn't matter
we know
what
that,
you
yeah.
say.
What about Bertrand's complete performance?
Rion Bertrand.
Yes,
That's a good
but
one.
like a
It was-
moment.
It was really good. Yeah, I know what you mean, but
You went for Turnbull a minute ago.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you went for Romeo
I
or
certainly
Ramu
did.
or
You did, Ramus.
Yeah,
Switch.
Oro. Can I call him Oro? Was that a bit weird?
you can, but it doesn't mean anything.
He wouldn't know who you're talking about,
No, he
but you
wouldn't.
could call him that.
Ramo.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Turnbull.
Bertrand's boots.
Bertrand's boots. Yeah, they are a bit.
Oh, those are the ones with the brain, aren't they?
Yeah, they're weird, aren't they? Anyway, look, you're going for Ramu,
Yes.
whatever we call
Turnbull
him.
safe.
Turnbull. Ray Mears.
Pretty much anything that Ramirez
Ramirez
did, really,
is,
but particularly his
With the shots,
his
wasn't it?
tackle, run, and shot,
Which
that
actually
led to the first goal.
led to the corner that
Yeah.
led to the first goal. Well, I've got to go for Ray Mears' volley because I just thought it was absolutely astonishing, and very unluckily it didn't go in. And as we all know, and what you don't know out there is that we kind of call the match awards a chidgocracy, largely because I always have the casting vote. Basically, I cheat. It's very simple. So I'm going to do exactly that for the podcast takeover, and I'm going to award it to Ramirez's volley. Because he did kind of vote for Ramirez.
That was good.
Yeah,
enough. No, it's
can't be
good
too
enough.
angry with that.
No,
It was
okay,
good.
fair enough. Now,
player.
the last of the match awards that we like to do is probably our favourite. All Chelsea fans love their celery. We are no exception. So we have a celery moment. Now, a celery moment is defined as something that we think is proper Chelsea. Proper Chelsea being usually something redolent of the old days, 70s, 80s, when we, how do we put this? We weren't very good. I think that's the polite way to put it.
Where were we when we weren't
So,
very good? Yes.
you know, I've always kind of envisioned it as a...
Close.
As,
Not born. Sorry, carry
It's
on.
all right. No, I'll just sit here on my own. But anyway, it could be something like Ron Harris, kicking somebody into row Z. That's proper Chelsea. It could be the support when we used to take lots and lots and lots of fans away,
Yeah.
even though we were going to somewhere like Rotherham or Carlisle, or somewhere even more exotic like Doncaster.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it could be like that. So basically, something that a player does that's redolent of the good old bad old days, or something the crowd does redolent of the good old bad old days, or it could be a bit of humour. We like a bit of either somebody does something stupid on the pitch or somebody does something stupid off the pitch.
It's at times like this we need something to laugh about.
That's probably the longest definition of a celery moment we've ever had, which kind of tells you one thing. We actually have no idea what it is, particularly the legend that is Cheltel.
I've heard explanations for a couple of years. I still don't know what you're on about, mate.
Okay, so right, very, very quickly, I would suggest, I submit to you, members of the Celery Moment board, that we have, actually, there was this one, actually there was a brilliant one. There was a kid in the crowd on Saturday with a gold lame jacket. I don't know if anybody saw
A
this.
kid, was he?
I don't know.
hard
Well,
to
he was a
say.
bloke.
He was a big kid.
He was a,
I
bit of
thought
a
it was
big
you.
bloke. It wasn't me, Tal.
all right.
I'm not that big.
He was a big lad.
But there was a bloke with a gold lame jacket on, which was really quite frightening. There was also talk of this. Somebody put it as David Luiz. Oh, there we go. We
Where's
got
the
it.
gold lame
I mean, look at
jacket?
that. I mean, that is
He's
mad.
a big lad, isn't he? Yeah.
Do one of you guys want Strictly Come Dancing?
Uh,
Who's the fat one?
Don't tell me he was on it.
Anyway, look, very,
Is
very
Russell
quickly, because
Grant?
we're
Russell Grant's
running.
a Chelsea fan, did you know that?
Seriously?
He is, yeah. he
Oh
loves
my
Chelsea.
God, I've heard
Mystery
everything now.
solved.
We're running out of time, so very, very quickly.
Does he
The
know
gold-
the results before they
Wait,
go?
which bit about we're running out of time don't you understand? Gold
all of
lame
it.
jacket, Louise's chubby cousin, which I've still yet to see a picture of. I think there's a really good one possibly in
Has
here.
that bloke got plastic hair? I mean,
Is
what-
it? Is it stuck on?
What's that?
I don't know. He's big guy, Tell. Don't upset him. He might be watching. The other one I'm thinking of is the great old proper Chelsea truism of glorious unpredictability, which is in the old days we'd have this ability to beat somebody really good one week and then lose to somebody absolutely awful the next week. And I have a sense that that's returning. So out of those three, very, very quickly, what are you going to go for?
Well, I like that bloke.
It's kind of Chelsea fashion.
I've got to get
isn't it?
one of those for myself. That's brilliant.
And you look great in it, Tel.
Oh, I'm sure I would. Yeah.
Elvis is obviously a Chelsea fan.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
So you're going for Gold Lame, Chris?
Yeah, Russell Grant there. It's got
Russell
to be.
Grant, Gold
Yeah, I'll go
Lame.
with that.
He's my favourite Chelsea fan
is
since the
getting-
Toothbrush Man. Remember him?
Oh, I do.
This is getting a bit too unanimous, but I think I'll go for that as well, because that
Well,
is definitely proper Chelsea.
Even I can't outvote you on
In a
that.
nouveau sort of way.
The trouble is, Chidge, that badge on the back is a bit too subtle, I reckon. Should be bigger.
Yeah, it's not really big enough,
He
is
needs
it?
to eat more pies.
Actually, I don't think it's in proportion to him, which kind of makes it all very, very wrong. I think it's unanimous.
Yeah.
Gold Lame man gets that. I mean, you know, Chelsea and fashion have always been an interesting passage of our history, so I think that that's right up there. So that, my friends, is all of our match awards for this week. We hope you enjoyed those. Now, very, very quickly before we wrap up, a quick one. Where do we go from here? Because let's face it, we've lost, what, 5 in 9? You know, do we, you know, what are we going to do?
We've lost 6 games out of 20. I mean, there was a time,
Statistics mystics.
6 games out of 20. Now, there was a time when that would have been brilliant.
Yeah, that's true. One game in 20 would
called-
have been
it's
brilliant.
called glorious
20, 30 years ago.
unpredictability.
Well, it is glorious
I think
unpredictability.
we desperately need a defence coach. AVB
Yeah.
obviously doesn't know anything about defence. We need someone like Steve Clark to do the
Oh,
defence.
wouldn't that be
back-
lovely?
Well, that's what we definitely need, because we can't keep having defence as bad as we got at the moment.
What about
from
picking
being
the
great
same team?
last season? It was rubbish this season.
I mean, I would like AVB to pick his best team and keep playing them so we can actually get some wins and some confidence.
Well,
That
if we
would
get
make me
knocked out
happy.
of all the cups, we might be able to do that. But if we want to compete on 4 fronts, we've got to mix it up. We've
3
got to
fronts.
stick with what we got. Well, 3 fronts now.
Okay.
We've got to stick with it.
But are we downhearted?
yeah, of course we are.
You are.
Of course we are. But
Can I cheer you up?
We're Chelsea.
Can I
Win
cheer
or
you up?
lose it.
Up the
Yeah,
Blues.
win or lose up the Blues. See, I want to cheer you up,
Oh,
you
thank
see,
you.
because when
What's
times are
that?
bad, I know, well, when times are bad, we have this thing called celery, which all cheers us up. Can I offer you some celery,
what are you going to do
boys?
with it
lovely.
exactly?
I'm not going to do what the song says.
Good.
Because that would be very wrong, Chris.
There is a
as
song
we all
about
know.
it, but
There
we
is a
can't
song
sing it
on the
present
Chelsea
company.
Fancast. On the Chelsea Fancast, every week we are actually famed throughout the world for how abysmal and poor our singing is, and we're going to sing a song called "Strolling" to help you on your way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strolling, just strolling, by the light of the moon above. I don't envy the rich in their automobiles.
Harry, have some of this.
The motor car is phony. I'd rather shag a pony when I'm strolling, just strolling in the light of the evening air.
Oh, terrible.
You're disgraced.
I will always go out strolling.
I know my luck is rolling when I'm strolling with the one I love. Chelsea! We're out.
Hooligans.
Chelsea! We're
I
out.
think you are hooligans.
They're
No,
not
I
going
did promise them we'd clear all this
to
up. by
have
the
us
way.
back now.
That's good.
Right, start eating.
No, it's terrible.
No, put it in the bag.
In the bag. It's in the bag.
Okay, that's it. We're out. No more celery, no more
We've
strolling.
been sacked.
People will probably be able to
That's our
go
one-
back to their homes feeling much better that they've
Our
had a
one and
window
only
on the
appearance.
world of the strange people of Chelsea Fancast. But thank you very much. We've enjoyed it. Hope to see you again soon.